But speaking of awards, Mirai has been nominated for Best Animated Feature at the Oscars. This coming after it's been nominated for several other awards. And hopefully, let's face it, Mirai will probably not win the 91st Academy Awards. Probably go to one of Disney's entries, even though they are the least deserving. You know, I will be happy if either Spider-Man or Mirai win. You know, I'm placing my bets on Spider-Man. You know, that won the Golden Globe, so hopefully maybe it can win the Best Picture, the Best Animated Feature Oscar.
I don't know, like, just kind of looking at the nominees so far, like, I feel like, I mean, because we have both The Incredibles 2 and Ralph Breaks the Internet, so Disney technically has 2 films.
As they always do.
Did they have 2 films nominated last year?
I mean, pretty much whenever there's a Disney and there's a Pixar film in the same year, they both managed to be nominated for Best Animated Feature. I don't remember last year if they had it, but like generally.
I was only asking because I'm pretty sure Coco was the only Disney thing that was nominated last year.
Last year, probably, because I don't, off the top of my head, I don't remember any other Disney film nominated last year in that category. But, like, it's not a surprise to see both a Disney and a Pixar film for Best Animated Feature in nominations.
All I'm going to say is I feel like Ralph Breaks the Internet is probably going to win it just because it's Disney.
What? Oh
well, because it's Disney.
Okay, you know, of those 2 Disney films, give it to Incredibles 2. Ralph Breaks the Internet is like... Look, I'll say that I enjoy all these films nominated to a certain extent, but Ralph Breaks the Internet is just like such blatant pandering and corporate consumerism. It's like it only has marginally more heart than the Emoji Movie. You know, there's fun stuff to be had, but it is just so creatively I mean, I won't say that. I just like it's creative, but that creativity is used to sell products in such a blatant way that annoys me.
See, I was going to ask because, like, I love the first Wreck-It Ralph. It's actually probably one of my favorite movies. Just because, like, when I first saw it in theaters, I was expecting nothing from that movie. Like, I was just I just assumed, you know, from the marketing at the time that, like, it was just going to be the celebration of, you know, look at all these different video game characters that you know. But, like, the movie turned out to be more than that. And I got more out of the first Wreck-It Ralph than I thought I did, or than I thought I would. So I really ended up enjoying the first one. So, like, you know, when I first saw that there was going to be a sequel to the movie, I was like, you know, I'm open to it. But then, like, the more that I found out about, you know, Ralph Breaks the Internet and what was going to be about, like, I was kind of turned off by it. I haven't seen it yet.
Okay.
Because I just didn't have any interest in seeing it in theaters. So, like, does it really add anything to like the first movie at all, or is this something like I could skip?
You don't need to watch it all. Like, they have to, like, devolve Ralph's character in order to make this movie work. He has to be stupid and selfish in really obnoxious ways.
That's really unfortunate.
Like, the story they're trying to go for is, oh, this is a toxic codependent relationship Ralph has with Vanellope. It's very obnoxious. And obviously Ralph learns his lesson, whatever, but it doesn't make up for the fact that he's just insufferable throughout so much of this movie. And then more than that, of course, is like, oh my god, so much product placement. Oh wow, Disney is so great. Look at all the Disney princesses. You love the Disney princesses. They got a bunch of scenes in the movie. And don't get me wrong, you know, I would watch a Disney princesses movie. I would watch and enjoy that a lot. But
yeah, like, see, that's my thing too. Is like that was a huge part of their marketing for this movie. Why didn't they just make a Disney princess movie? You know what I mean?
Honestly, this feels like just testing the pilots to see, oh, hey, would people want a Disney princesses movie? Let's put them in this film and see, hey, how much business is going to get. So I have to imagine that they'll make one now. But, you know, and I would enjoy that. Again, like, I would enjoy that, but, like, so much of this movie is, like, feels very pandering to, in a lot of ways. There is creativity in this movie. Like, there are a lot of creative ways they visualize the internet and stuff. There is ultimately a good message, but it's just not enjoyable, and it just feels so derivative and so blatantly commercialized.
It sounds like it feels really forced.
Yeah, it is pretty much forced. I mean, again, they have to digress Ralph's character and make him forget all the lessons he learned in the previous movie in order to make this movie work.
Yeah, that's upsetting, because
honestly, if they want to continue making stories with these characters, make the next film about Vanellope, because she's more interesting. She's the one who has, like, actual growth that she can do. You know, just make a Sugar Rush movie, or the Deck Race movie. She's now in that game or whatever. And just forget about Ralph. Like, this, because in this movie, like, he was, like, my least favorite part about it by a large margin. Anyway, also, Ralph Breaks the Internet is, like, easily, of these contenders, like, the least deserving, in my opinion, just factoring all sorts of other merits and all that, but, you know.
Yeah, I just want to put out there, that is my cynical answer because it is a Disney film, but also Incredibles 2 is on there, so, like, I feel like out of the four, it's probably the one that would win, but, like, personally, I'm rooting for Spider-Verse because holy shit, that is such a good movie.
Spider-Verse is like an achievement in filmmaking. Spider-Verse is, like, innovative in just incredible ways. Like, that to me is the most deserving, even though I really like Mirai a lot.
I was also going to say it's probably the best Spider-Man movie we've had in a long time, honestly.
Yeah.
Just in terms of the character, but no, yeah, I mean, I feel bad because I didn't get a chance to see Mirai in theaters, but I'll take your word for it when you say that it's really good, and I'm sure it's very deserving of this award. So
yeah, like, of the best animated feature nominees, which ones have you seen? Just Spider-Verse and Incredibles 2?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I meant to see Isle of Dogs, but, like, I heard so much, like, in my circles at least, that film got a lot of, like, mixed reactions, so I honestly wasn't sure if it'd be worth seeing, but, like, I wouldn't mind checking it out.
I definitely have mixed feelings towards that film as well, but I do think the filmmaking of that film is really good, so even if I have problems with certain aspects of how it handles culture and depiction of Japanese people and all that.
Yeah, I remember you talking about that at one point, but I mean, I also love stop motion animation, so, like, I feel like I need to sit down with it at some point.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I don't know, like, I want to hold out hope, but at the same time, at this point, you know, I'm just not invested in the Oscar. I'm not invested in too many award things at this point, because it's like, you know, the things that do deserve, you know, an award don't ever get an award, at least in my opinion, anyway. So,
It depends. I mean,
especially with the Oscars, I should say, as far as, like, animated movies go.
Well, yeah, I mean, especially with Best Animated Feature, it's very much, hey, what are the studios with the most clout? Each one gets, like, one film representation, except for Disney, which if they have, like, 2 films that are eligible, they'll get 2.
And also, like, the people who judge these movies don't even, like, watch all of them. Like, some just outright ignore them, which I think is kind of an outrage, honestly. I don't know, like, I'm glad Coco won last year, because, like, I really do think out of the nominees from that year, like, that one was easily the most deserving.
Loving Vincent was the most deserving. You didn't watch Loving Vincent. If you had listened to our podcast about it, V-Lord and I were like, Loving Vincent was the best film of the goddamn year. Not just best animated film, best film. It deserved the Oscar. God damn it. But Coco is a great film, too. Don't get me wrong. I like Coco, but Loving Vincent, come on, that was an accomplishment.
Loving Vincent is an accomplishment. I just wish I was a little more interested in the story, was all. But that is just me and my and my dumb opinion. Don't listen to me. I don't know anything about movies. But anyway, we should just move on to the next piece of news.
Yeah, you'll definitely hear more heated conversations about the Oscars when Wheelord and I inevitably record this year's Oscars podcast in a couple weeks. We'll have strong words for sure about certain things. I know.